Alrighty, so I just wanted to film a personal video for my YouTube channel here. A friend of mine wanted to do a like goat tournament in between, a handful of his friends. So I ended up building a Chaos Turbo deck because back when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, when this deck was a thing, I did have a Chaos deck of my own. So here we are. All right, so first card we have is, obviously BLS Chaos deck. You have to have the BLS. We have a Sinister Serpent. These are just like the one ofs. Tribe Infecting Virus, Breaker, Sangan. Then two Night Assailant. I wanted to work with 3 Chaos Sorcerer. I'm probably going to have some test games tomorrow before we actually kind of get into it, just to kind of test out the deck, see how it works. And a lot of people say Chaos Sorcerer at 3 is clunky. I kind of think, it's like, well, hey, look, this is your boss monster. You kind of want to see it often. But I could definitely see it being clunky at 3. So, like I said, I just want to play around with the deck, get a feel for it, and then, go from there. So, 3 of this guy. We have 3 Gravekeeper Spies, Hobby League. We've got 3 Magician of Faith. And I mean, 2 Dekoichis. Flip effect, draw a card, pretty nice. I was debating on doing 2 Tsukuyomis. I decided to just stick with 1 for now and then just have the other one in the sideboard to see how it feels. Thunder Dragon, 3 copies of it. I mean, pretty obvious. Holy Trinity, Snatch Steel's nice. Heavy Storm, MST. 2 German copies of Upstart Goblin. 2 Noblemans. Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction, Torrential, 3 Jargreeds for, some trap cards. Then Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. I mainly just run this over Raigeki Break because I have foils of this and not Raigeki Break. So that is the main deck. I'm just kind of doing this for me. I'm just doing this deck profile for fun. I'm doing it the night before the tournament. It's like 1:30 in the fucking morning right now. I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta get up early, but I wanted to do this just just have a little fun with it. I don't know, maybe do a little talking. Like 3 Jar, just because it's nice to play those mind games. You can chain Jar whenever you want, and it's just nice to set it back there so that it's not that big of a deal if your opponent MSTs it before you end your turn or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, oh well, at least you didn't hit something important, I don't know, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, or if you have a Book of Moon, or anything else, Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction. And I know, I get it, I'm not really breaking any new ground here, with a Chaos Turbo deck. It's pretty generic and a lot of people hate that. You just don't really have a ton of slots to play with when it comes to Chaos Turbo. It's just so set in stone. You obviously need your triple Thunder Dragons. Tsukuyomi is always super good. just in general, just being able to normal summon Book of Moon on legs, and you're going to be able to attack in Dekoichis. I had a third one. I ended up sideboarding that third one. I just put him on the bench for now. Maybe if I don't like 3 Chaos Source, I will side in that third Deco for the draw, because he is a nice card. Flip effect, draw a card, that's just generically good. Magician of Faith, I know people tend to like to run 2. People say 3 is just too much. The only light cards you have in this deck are Magician of Faith and Thunder Dragon. Seeing 1 Thunder Dragon is amazing. So I don't know, you see 1 Thunder Dragon, you literally see all of your Thunder Dragons. So maybe it's not that bad, but like I said, um, I want to run Magician of Faith at 3, and again, maybe after doing some testing, I won't like it that much. We'll just kind of see how that works. But anyways, I can't even remember where I found this Thousand Eyes Restrict. I couldn't tell you. I had it. I must have bought it for one of my decks. So this is going to be my only card in my fusion deck because that's really all I have off tops. I might have some other legal fusion monsters for GOAT format, but this is really all I found. Like, immediately. So this is going to be my only fusion monster. I just bought one of these just because I ended up buying like all of these cards. I was into Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm into like pretty much every card game. And I kind of bounce around between what I'm playing. And my buddy hit us all up. Hey man, let's do some GOAT. It sounds fun. I was always kind of interested in GOAT format. Just because it's like this is where I was growing up. This is the kind of stuff when I was growing up, when I was playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. So, I just kind of thought, what? Hey, I know Chaos Emperor Dragon's banned in GOAT, but you know what? I've never had a fancy copy of him. I've only ever had like an ultra rare limited edition from like a Shonen Jump or whatever, and that one's in storage. So I'm just gonna have this little bad boy sitting on the sideline, ulti, and then this should be my sideboard, I believe. I ordered a copy of Blade Knight. I just kind of threw it in with an order. He's kind of whatever. He's just generically, again, he's a good card. If you don't have a ton of cards in your hand, he's a 2K beater, and if he kills something that is a flip effect, they don't get the flip effect, So like I can see why Blade Knight is really nice in GOAT format, where flip effects are just so potent. I want to order ulti copies, and I was looking for an ulti copy of Blade Knight, and turns out they only ever printed him as an ulti in Japanese, which is why I couldn't really find it for a minute, and then I ended up finding, the Japanese copies. So, one copy of Blade Knight. Here's my third copy of Dikoichi. Here's my other Tsukuyomi. Premature Burial. I ended up putting this in the sideboard over another card in the main deck. I really like Premature Burial. I like all of these Reanimator effects are really good. But like, again, it's like, trying to find that balance of aggressive cards that are going to, eliminate any threats, versus like, I need to have a card engrave that will, like it's pretty much what I'm going to be, bringing back. It's going to be, my BLS or my Chaos Sorcerer if one is engrave. Like Premature Burial, I feel is going to be dead in way more hands than like a Nobleman of Crossout or an MST or a Heavy Storm or any of my any other trap card that I could just set and potentially take out a threat and open my opponent up for me to get in. And that's kind of what Chaos Turbo wants to do, I think. Is you want to be able to get in there. You want to be able to turbo out your big boys and go in. A couple of scapegoats because GOAT format scapegoats, makes sense. Card destruction because it's card destruction. like a lot of these things are kind of no brainers. I don't want to like treat people like they're idiots. Like they don't know, hey, card destruction. If you have a shit hand, play card destruction, and you discard your hand to draw a new one, right? Like, oh man, Pot of Greed. I don't know if I could really fit that card into the deck, right? It's just a fucking spell card, draw 2 cards. Like, I don't want to treat people like idiots here. We get it. We understand. I'm just trying to keep it casual, keep it cool. 2 Book of Moons, that's just more stuff. Bought a Lost Art Call the Haunted, you know. So again, with the Reanimator stuff, Reanimator's nice. Cool thing about this Premature Burial, actually, someone said this was like a heavy play Premature Burial from Pharaoh Servant. And I believe, yeah, if you look right there, it says Magic card because they used to be Magic cards, not spell cards. It's just one corner that is kind of bad. It's not terrible, like it's not completely frayed. You could probably see it. You know, it's not a very crisp corner. You know, you know, it's, but like the integrity of the card is still there. So I think I kind of came up on this Premature Burial. I think it looks really nice. I eventually want to get some shiny Raigeki breaks, and this is part of the reason why they're not in the deck, is because I don't have any shiny Raigeki breaks. But yeah, 3 cards I'm missing out here because there's like 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. I ordered 3 Asura Priests. I wanted to have those in the sideboard just in case I was playing, like someone builds like Goat Control or something, or you know, just anything like that, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna get out a shit ton of monsters, and it's like, okay, cool, I'll drop in a Asura Priest and call it a day. So I wanted to have that to round out my sideboard, and then from there, I ordered a bunch of tokens. Obviously, you know, we order some goat tokens. Karibo token. This is, I mean, the person just had these, and I'm like, you know what? These are really cool. I like these Gores tokens, so we'll pick up the Gores tokens. I don't even know what the hell this is supposed to be. I'm pretty sure, yeah, you see Speed Duel right there. Speed Duel token, Revival Jam token, Slime token, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what the fuck this is. A Mask token, Option token, and then for some reason this common, like, you know, it's not a foil. This Scapegoat token was the most expensive scapegoat token on the market. I don't know why. And that just came in the mail yesterday, I guess, technically at this point. Really hoping to get my Asura Priests, but unfortunately that did not happen. I don't know, potentially I can, you know, check my mail before we go in later today. Maybe I'll get my last package with my Asura Priest and whatnot in there. But yeah, you know, ordered some goat tokens. I mainly wanted the goat tokens, and that led me down a rabbit hole of token shenanigans. I'm a big fan of these. I love especially foil tokens. I really like these. Wish Yu-Gi-Oh would do more of it. Yeah. So now, I mean, the rest of the video is just kind of going to be talking. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, GOAT format has always interested me. I've always, you know, this is just classic Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what I'm saying? I've always had a soft spot for it. I kind of have a soft spot for Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm looking at some of the new archetypes, and I think they're pretty neat. I like them. You know, Yummy, Labyrinth. I do have a Dragon Maid deck. Big fan of Dragon Maids. Drytron was really cool. You know, I like a lot of these things. I just don't really have anyone to really play it with. Like no one in my local area really plays, and my friends don't really play like current Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe I can convince them otherwise. But yeah, no, I mean, like this GOAT format thing, really, really cool. As you can see, I think the entire deck, minus this Ring of Destruction, which I just forgot to update in my cart. I ended up buying, you know, this is the Lost Art Ring of Destruction. I would have bought it foil, and I just didn't realize it until I opened the package, and I'm like, oh shit. I guess it's no big deal because, I mean, Ring of Destruction in GOAT format, really, really good. Again, like, God, I feel like one of those generic deck posting people. I mean, yeah, there's a reason why it's limited to 1. Same with Mirror Force. But yeah, so that's the only card in this deck that actually isn't foil. I kind of ended up going crazy because of just mainly nostalgia. I mean, there's something about these cards. There's just something about like these kind of old, like, I don't know how to really explain it or say it. I guess there's like less going on. There's just some sort of like kind of old school vibe and look to these that I just really really like. Um, Man, yeah, and again, as a kid, like I remember seeing these cards, playing with them, going through it. Um, it's just there's something very unique about these, and especially these kind of like older rarities. Like dual terminal. Man, I remember these dual terminals, and I wish I would have used them. Like I saw them every so often when I'd go to certain card shops, and I always thought they were really cool. I just never really ended up picking them up. Like these gold rare chaos sorcerers are all right. I didn't go too crazy. I could have gone way crazier, and like the super rare chaos source. um God, there's like super rare night assailants that are like literally hundreds of dollars per copy, like ridiculous. um don't know about Sangan. I mean, like this Sangan, it's Legacy Collection Yugi's World. That's pretty old. um This is another Legacy Collection Yugi's World. Ultra rares, man. Like these are nice. They look really nice. I think this is the highest rarity of Tribe Infecting Virus. I know there's like a super rare one. Um, and then Sinister Serpent. There's another more accessible serpent that you can get that's still kind of, he has a price tag to him. It's like $30 instead. It's from another video game. This one was from SDD. What the fuck was SDD? Oh god, Door to Destinies. I forgot what it was, but this guy. I can't remember. He's not super expensive, but I do like that foil because this is like kind of that GBA foil. You can see in that name. I don't even know what to really call it. I don't know what they really call it, but yeah. And then you see in that background, it's kind of like that grid pattern back there. Really, really cool in my opinion. And then this one actually, this BLS, they just reprinted him again. I mean, he's dirt cheap. Like you could have assembled this deck probably for, if you wanted to go bottom rarity, probably like $50, if that. Like honestly, if that. If you want to just kind of get into the format, Goat is dirt cheap, dude. Dirt cheap. There's so many like common like me. I'm a rarity whore, and on top of that, I like to buy near mint. I don't like buying used copies of things because it's like it's a crapshoot. Like I said, sometimes you get lucky, like I did with that Pharaoh's Servant premature burial, and then other times you get like, oh yeah, this is totally near mint, and the card's basically bent in half and fucking pissed on. Like I don't know, someone revoke this man's fucking selling license, bro. I like revoke this man, fucking ban him off the platform because ridiculous. Anyways, I guess like going back on the topic of like strategies for this deck, I was also thinking so I kind of went off of a deck list and off of what I kind of thought I would want to use. And honestly, like going over some more cards, I also kind of I saw what is that? Kinetic Soldier. Kinetic Soldier is also really good. Mainly like, you go up against a warrior deck and he becomes like what, a 3300 beat stick just completely for free. Kind of just shuts out warriors. It's like you can't beat over him. You just have to, you have to expend some sort of removal on him, whether that be a Phoenix Wing or a Raigeki Break. You're going to need to try to remove him first, or if the warrior deck needs to play their BLS to get over him, right? You're just going to need to expend some sort of resource to get rid of him, and then that nets you some advantage because like, okay, well, that's one less resource you can use against my BLS, against my Chaos Sorcerers, against my things that you also want to remove. So yeah, like that was another candidate for stuff in the side. If anyone is still watching this far or cares to, chime in, I would also, I wouldn't mind any criticism. Again, I know, hey, Chaos Turbo, yucky, icky, you stinky doo doo. Like, I get it. But, I mean, this is the deck I had as a kid, so that is what I picked. And I mean that's kind of what it was. I mean, I saw that BLS was legal, and I'm like, okay, that's really cool. Chaos Sorcerers at 3, and I mean, I had this deck. Mind you, I played it totally different. I mean, I had stuff like End of Anubis, or what was it, Curse of Anubis, or I think it was the End of Anubis, 6-star, dark fiend type, big old purple Anubis looking motherfucker fiend. Forgot what he did. His effect was pretty neat. I'd have things like that. I even ended up playing like the Sphinx cards and Golem Sentries, where it's like if you flip summon them, they return stuff to your opponent's hand. I ended up doing that as well in like a Chaos style deck. Had a lot of fun with it. I also saw Monarchs, and I do have a current Monarch deck. I also have a soft spot for Monarchs. So I don't know, maybe I'll do something with that. I do have other ideas as well. I kind of wanted to do Amazons. I kind of wanted to potentially build Harpy, as little as you can do. And that's another thing that really sucks about Harpies. Like, I actually never knew that. When it came to Harpies, Harpy Lady 1, 2, 3, and Cyber Harpy Lady all state that their name is always treated as Harpy Lady, which means even if they're in your deck during deck construction, they count as just regular Harpy Lady. So like you can have a maximum of 3 cards with the same name. So they all say that their name is always treated as Harpy Lady, which means you can either have like 3 Harpy Lady 1s, 3 Cyber Harpy Ladies, Harpy Lady 1, 2, 3. Like, you can only have a combination of any of those 3 because their name is always treated as Harpy Lady. That really sucks. So I mean, it's pretty much like 3 Harpy Ladies, 1 to maybe 2 Harpy Lady sisters, because that's a gigantic brick, and like a Harpy's pet dragon. That's really like, those are like your whole options. And I really wish that rule would change. I think that's a bad rule. In regular Yu-Gi-Oh, it's fine because you have like Harpy Channeler, Harpy Girl. And, you have like just way more cards to use from Harpy Queen. There's way more cards that that you could put into a Harpy deck. You can have a full-on Harpy Lady deck. So it just really sucks that is a thing. But I still kind of wanted to do that anyways. So I mean, like, there's like that, an Amazoness deck, or an Amazon deck, and a Harpy Lady deck. I don't know, maybe Warriors in general. I mean, I know Amazon are Warriors, but I don't know. Like, I definitely want to kind of explore Goat, maybe even Edison, like the next step up. Because I always kind of wanted to build a hero deck because I think heroes are really neat as an archetype. I don't know how good they are, like just straight up heroes. But I mean, whatever. I gotta talk to my friends a bit more, just to kind of see what they want to do, because they get into hobbies and they get out of hobbies very quickly. Like, for a while we were playing Hero Clicks, and that kind of eventually dwindled down into just like me and one other friend, and everyone else just kind of silently like dipped out. and it was just a very kind of subtle decline, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see how this deck runs. I'm definitely gonna need to play some test runs, just for fun. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a little update video or something afterwards, just to like, hey, this is how I did, guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really bad about checking my videos because it's like I have a separate account. Like I use YouTube a lot, so I have like my main account, and then I have like my uploading account. So I will try to kind of check back in for any sort of like feedback or ideas or maybe questions or what have you. Because I mean, I am interested to hear other people's thoughts and opinions and like other insight in general, I suppose. So I mean, yeah, because I mean, like there, I forgot. I think his name was Tom. He made a really neat video, or well, I mean, he made a really neat deck. It was like a fairy shine ball burn. Very charismatic dude, very funny. Um, and like he made a like super interesting deck, and it's like when people where all you see is people parroting just like, oh man, goat format solved, it's dead, there's nothing to do anymore, top deck is chaos turbo, that's it, there's nothing. And it's like, I mean, you'll see videos where people beat chaos turbo. It's like, if that's quote unquote what the best deck is and that's what everyone's going to run, then it's like, well, I mean, can't you run counter to that deck? I mean, if it's such a solved format, then I mean, you know, wouldn't it be easy to just go like, all right, well, cool, then I'll just build this deck that kind of counters that strategy. I mean, shit, run Kaikos, dude. It's a solid monster, 1800 beater, and you're banishing your opponent's stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, shit, play Soul Release, man. Soul Release is a super old card that just banishes stuff out of your opponent's grave. I don't know. In my opinion, there are ways. There are ways to do things. And it's like the format isn't solved. I mean, back when GOAT format first started, it's like, GOAT control was like the deck. That's what people were running, right? And then oh well, oh man, there's no beating, there's no beating GOAT control, man. GOAT control is the best deck in the format. And then it's like, I don't know if necessarily Chaos Turbo dethroned it, but then you know what I'm saying? It's like now we have like, oh well, Chaos Turbo, and then even then a lot of people with a ton of experience in the format are even saying that Chaos Turbo isn't the best deck. And it's like, it's probably, these people have more experience in GOAT format than the people just crying saying, oh, GOAT format's a solved format, it's like this is by far the best deck, and it can't be beat, tier 0 format. I don't know. I just don't think people have experienced tier 0 formats where it's just like the only way like this deck loses is if the person misplays, or they get their fucking 0.001% hand where they just get completely dicked down by RNG, right? It's a totally dead hand. Yeah, I don't know. I just like this because this is just like old Yu-Gi-Oh. This was like back before the super duper crazy combos. And I mean, I think there's a time and place for all of it, in my personal opinion. It's like, sometimes we just want to play some nice, slow, big brain. Not to say that current Yu-Gi-Oh isn't big brain or anything, but like, you don't really see this, right? You don't really see oh, well, I'm going to play Jar of Greeds because it's an amazing card to bluff with. I'm going to set this card, and we're going to be playing poker. We're playing poker now, dude. I set this card. Is it a useless card? Is it? Like, I've literally seen people set spells like, like Nobleman of Crossout. You can't do anything with that on your opponent's turn. They set it to bluff because what if it's a torrential? What if it's a Ring of Destruction? What if it's a Mirror Force? What if it's a Sakuretsu armor? I don't know what that is. Do I take the chance? Do I use this opportunity to go in for it? If you had just one chance, would you take your shot? Or would you let it all slip away? Like, it's just big mind games. Versus, like, in current age Yu-Gi-Oh, it's more about, I set up my board, now you need to go through the process of bit by bit breaking my board. Just like very, very different games. When is the optimal time to use hand traps? I feel like in current Yu-Gi-Oh, that is such a huge thing. Like, you need to know what deck you're playing against. You actually need to know how the other deck functions, or be told how that deck functions. Like, you need to Ash Blossom on this card, right? Like, for instance, I remember a deck I used to play. Invoked. I think I was playing Invoked Dogmatica or something like that, and like, I believe the example was normal summon Alistair search for field spell. Do you Ash Blossom it? And like, man, because the field spell would allow you to search again. I believe it allowed you to search for like the fusion. So it's just like, okay, well, do I Ash Blossom this, or do I Ash Blossom the field spell being played? And it's like, a lot of the time, I think like people were saying like the correct answer was you should Ash Blossom the field spell after it comes out, because you're letting your opponent go through plays, and then they're going to try to search this fusion spell, which is what you need for the invoked engine to really work. And you're just like, okay, well, look, I'm going to Ash Blossom this. You're not going to get the fusion spell, and you either need to have it in hand, or you need to have an alternative method of getting your fusion out. That was like the correct answer. You don't hit the Alistair, because the Alistair is just going to search for your field spell, I believe was the was the correct answer. Because it's just like, now you're just like, okay, well, look, you either have it right now or you don't have it. Versus, oh, well, I'm gonna normal some Alistair. Okay, well, I'm gonna Ash your Alistair so that you can't grab your field spell. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine, because I'm still gonna just use Invocation, right? And I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like, you could do it anywhere along that line, and if they have it in their hand, they have it in their hand. But if they didn't have it in their hand, you would wait for them to try to grab their field spell. Because, like, another thing, right, is like, okay, well, you're going to try to grab your field spell, right? Or I'm sorry, you want to stop them from trying to grab their fusion spell. Because it's like, okay, normal summon Alistair, search for my field spell. Oh no, you're going to Ash Blossom it? Okay, well, now I'm going to Terraforming to grab my field spell anyways. So now I'm going to continue my plays, right? I don't know. That's just from what I remember. This was like, 3+ years ago, mind you. So like, I'm a little, and it's really late. So I'm just spouting off nonsense at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if anyone's still watching, like I said, any suggestions for the deck? I have looked up multiple lists to just kind of get a feel for it. And again, I know this is a very generic list. I mean, it is what it is. It be what it be, and it do what it do. Still looking for constructive feedback from the community or whatever else. I think this deck's really cool. I think a lot of GOAT format stuff is really cool because, like I said, I grew up with it, so I have big nostalgia for it. And I'm happy I got this guy. Oh, and then I guess, I don't know, like one more thing. This is the mat that I'm going to be using. This was really cool. I forgot when this, I think this dropped like a year or two ago. This is like a Yu-Gi-Oh collaboration thing with Spellground, where the art that they used around the mat was Yu-Gi-Oh themed. So Dark Magician Girl on the other side is Dark Magician, and I believe the dragons up here, I think they're renditions of like Blue Eyes White Dragon and Red Eyes Black Dragon. I could be wrong on that though. I know that's supposed to be Dark Magician Girl, and then on the flip side it's going to be Dark Magician, and then there's Spellground. So it's like, how it be. Spellgrounds and Yu-Gi-Oh, man, they go hand in hand, like peanut butter and jelly, like Bonnie and Clyde, methamphetamine and cocaine. I don't know. Alabama and incest. You know how it be. You know what it do. Spellgrounds and Yu-Gi-Oh. TM copyright. Do not steal. All right. So I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I do pretty good. I don't know what anyone else built. I don't think anyone's revealed that information to anyone else. Like, I think I took a picture of a couple things, like Jar of Greed. Like you're not gonna be able to tell what deck someone's using from fucking Jar of Greed. It's just like little things, but I mean, I probably would have been safe taking a picture of BLS because like BLS is just such a popular boss monster because it's like as long as you're running any access to light and dark. I probably could have taken a picture of like any of the limited cards. That's kind of funny now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, like I probably could have taken a picture of any of like the limited to one cards, and it's just like, well, they're so generically good that of course you would use them, right? So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely interested to be playing some old Yu-Gi-Oh, old man Yu-Gi-Oh. Grandpa Muto. Yep. So, yeah, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun because I should have been saying this while I was on stream. I just wasn't saying shit. I was so tired. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, just like I don't know, man. Like, I worked a lot. I took a lot of extra shifts, and then I finally have one day off. So I'm happy to finally have a day off and just like hang out and just play some card games because I'm so fucking tired. I don't know how I'm still awake. So, yep. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. It's probably gonna be after the day that we play because probably just gonna go to sleep watching something on my phone, and then yeah. Right. Well, hope to hear any feedback. This 40-minute fucking deck profile. I mean, I got it all done in like the first like 5 minutes, anyways. So like, who fucking cares if I'm ranting about nonsense? I'm still just gonna say that it's a fucking. I'm still just gonna say that it's a fucking Chaos Turbo deck, fucking deck profile, and that's it. I don't know. Whoever stayed through the entire dumb bullshit of me ranting, thank you, because this is just fucking incoherent nonsense. Alright, see y'all later.